Hi everyone, it's Kasia again, and this is Hypczyk Tarot from Maria Strom and published by Red Feather, which is an imprint of Schiffer Publishing. And who would have thought, because I received this deck for a review and I wasn't expecting not that I wasn't expecting much, but I knew it's published by Schiffer, so I thought, that it's going to be laminated and it's going to be, there's just the Schiffer style. And as much as I, don't mind all the Schiffer decks, but a lot of them are very heavily laminated, and this is not my particularly favorite type of paper that I'm working with. So when I got this deck, it comes in this beautiful, Schiffer does very great packaging, actually, that we have to say that. So it comes in this magnetic kind of flip box. When you have Maria's photo on, and Maria Strom, she's a tarot reader and artist living in Athens in Georgia, and she seems like a very cool woman. And the book and the font, it has this very, the color is pink, it's for chicks, it's made, the deck is only created for, not only, but it's created in mind with women, and it's made with images only of women, because Maria decided that she mostly reads for women, so she wanted to have a deck that represents that kind of demographic, that she reads for. So she created a deck with strong, beautiful images of women. And this Hypczyk Tarot has this cool book with, it's cool. It's really has the 70 feel to it. I love the font they picked. It's well edited. It has the image of the card. It has, the spiritual, practical, and description of the card. So she's describing what's on the card, why she did it, and how can you practically or spiritually use that card. So I'm going to hold the page so you can take a look. She has changed the major arcana names, and she says it in her... Actually, maybe I'll do that. So when we go from the full, then Magician is Creator, there's High Priestess, Nature is for Empress, Structure is for Emperor, Sacred Knowledge for Hierophant, Will is for the Chariot, Hermit Wheel, Hanging is for the Hanged Man, Flow is for Temperance, Bound is for Devil. And then Reborn is for Judgment, and the Universe is for the World. And then the suits are also different. There's Suit of Create, Suit of Feel. So Create is the Wands, Suit of Feel is the Cups, Suit of Think is Swords, and Suit of Earth, which is Pentacles. So quite fairly easy to recognize. And the cards come in these two kind of... the box is split in two, but it's quite easy to actually pull them out of there. It's not that kind of annoying paper box. And to my surprise, the paper of this deck feels so good, because it's got this, I don't know, it's smooth. It's not, so it's kind of protected, but it's not laminated. It's matte, and it feels good to shuffle it. It feels good in the hand. It really it's bendy, and it works well. You can shuffle it in any way you want, and it fits the hand. It's not too big. It's a perfect size. So this was really quite surprising. And it has a daisy in the back, because Maria says that daisies are so unassuming, but yet so beautiful. And in the book, she describes some symbols she uses in the cards. And the book is written very clear way and very friendly manner. So I'm going to show you all the cards as well. And I wanted to... just make sure that you can see them well. So they're not in order, because I keep using this deck and checking how it works for me. It reads very well, actually. It reads very great for like daily draws and regular questions. It's a definitely practical deck. It's a little bit like not semi-pippish because as you see there's always pictures, but there's not so much on the cards to like, you know, draw from. Like for example from the Carnival at the End of the World was much busier kind of picture. The style that Maria created here, it's very simple, but it actually reminds me of reading Lenormand. Like when you put some of the cards, you know, on the table, like you see what it is kind of straight away. You see it via color, you see it via the image. It's quite easy to connect the cards, and that's what was very surprising with this deck, because the artwork itself, it might not maybe be my style to the end. I know I like the naive art, but maybe much more kind of shamanic, but this one is very kind of simple, day-to-day style, I would say. But I love the keywords, the font of the writing and how the deck looks and how it feels in the cards, and then the simplicity with which it reads. It's very cool. So I'm just going to go through some of the cards. So as we said, Feel is about cups. So this would be 10 of cups. So she's changed the court cards as well. There is Child, I think. There's Boss. Well, we get there. Okay, so think as Page of Swords, that would be. So it's like, oops, I have an idea, you know. 7 of Create would be 7 of Wands. And then Boss of Think is the King and Queen is the Queen. But there's only females, as I said in the beginning, because as Maria said in her book, she mostly reads for women. And I know that it kind of feels like, yes, you read for women, but women like men. And we wanna maybe see men in the deck. But I think it's also cool to have, I have a few decks that have only females in them, and I don't mind for a change, you know. It feels quite good, and as I said, simple to read. It's easy to know. So there are these associations with the Rider-Waite-Smith, you know, like the broken heart here on 3 of Swords, 10 of Earth, to Think. So as you see, not many kind of additional information, but the posture of the people, the kind of vibe which she gives off really helps you to understand what she's trying to, what the art or the character on the card is trying to show. And it's vaguely based on, it's based on Rider-Waite-Smith, as we can see, but you wouldn't recognize any of the images, so she's created her own imagery. And the Star, I love it, it's this trust, floating justice. So all the major arcana have the purple background, Wheel for the Chariot. 8 of Earth. I love that it's inclusive. She's chosen many different races and faces. And also, I love that the faces are not like these beautiful, you know, model-like women, but she just shows us like regular women. And 6 of Feel. So if you know Rider-Waite-Smith, definitely no problem in reading this deck. But even if you don't know Rider-Waite-Smith, with the book, this can be also a deck to, you know, learn to read tarot. But obviously, if you're not too keen on like proper traditional tarot system, because it's obviously a totally different depiction. So if you're interested more in the traditional way or learning the traditional first, on the way first, it wouldn't be probably a good deck to start with, but definitely a great deck to practice your tarot skills once you know your tarot system. I like this nature, very beautiful Empress. 5 of Create. So 5 of Wands, 6 of Wands. So you can definitely recognize the Rider-Waite-Smith here, right? I think it might be a good deck to, I love this, a good deck to also learn to let your intuition flow, just because it's of its simplicity and kind of pippishness, but you still have pictures. It might be a good deck to kind of bridge you into reading with pips if you would like to learn pips more. Lovers, also 2 women. I like this deck. And in the book she explains each of the symbols, why she used them, sacred knowledge. Fool. It's cool. So I think all in one, this deck, how it's published, how it's thought through, how it's executed is very cool. You know, my friend Melanie, she was so surprised how this deck reads for her, and she was taken, you know, like, wow, by surprise. And I actually was the same. Like, I didn't expect to like this deck so much, and actually it does read really well. And for me, I think it's this simplicity, and I like decks with space, and this deck just creates space. So when you put few cards next to each other, like, you have recurring symbols, you can, you know, still go via your intuition and hold on to certain symbols and certain colors and certain repetitive images, but yet you have space to roam free. And because it's a lot of figures, you know, they look certain ways, so you can read in many different ways. And I love this. It's a hula hooping lady for the universe. Oh, that's so cool. This is one of my favorite. A 6 of Earth, 10 of Feel. And seriously, this paper, you don't want to put this deck down because it feels so buttery and great in your hands. They did a really great job. This red feather from Shifa. 9 of Earth. I like how they showed her as a scholar. You know, sometimes knowledge is like this fulfillment and satisfaction and abundance in life. This is cool too. So a lot of cool images. I love this tower, and she's just like, whoo! You know, uses the opportunity to break free. High Priestess, it's really cool too, with the cat if you like it. 7 of Think. So 7 of Swords. Queen of Think. 10 of Create. Sun and Ace of Think. So as I said, it reminds me of Lenormand in its simplicity. You know straight away what the card shows. You don't have to think twice. It's not like Tildwyk Tarot, for example, that you have to, put the card up and see what's shown on the image. It reads well. It has modern feel to it, so I think it will be cool also for younger people. And in general, I'm very happy with this deck and how it came to life, and with the book and execution in general. So yeah, let me know also what you think about this one, how you feel about it, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Maria, for the deck. And it's a deck that surprised me. It gets into that category. I'm enjoying working with it. So thank you. Bye, guys.